like they can't eat bacon sandwiches because it smells too much like human.
Whoa! Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
What, two weeks?
I think it's coming up to a month since we last recorded.
Since we last recorded,
Last
2 weeks
episode was-
since the last episode.
Was it
I
two?
think. Yeah.
Crikey, Maliki. How have you been? What
Lots
you
of
got to tell
things. Well, I have experienced proper pain. That's I found my 10, as it were, on the scale.
What's that then?
I've had a problem with a filling that I had done previously, and it has decided to not work anymore. And it's the most painful thing. Tooth pain is like, and the way it feels, I kept half expecting like to look in the mirror and my face is all swollen and bleeding, and it was just...
You can't ignore tooth pain.
I couldn't escape. That was the thing, was like I'd be sitting there and it's like all consuming because it's so painful. I was just like, I got up, started walking around, nothing changed, sat down, nothing changed. You can't escape it.
No.
It's just...
And where it resonates as well, you'd be like, well, that's where my tooth is. But everywhere else starts
The
to hurt.
whole side of my face, my jaw was... Oh, it was horrifying. So I've since had some medication, some antibiotics, which were fantastic. Science, medicine. And yeah, so I'm currently scheduled to have the tooth pulled in a couple weeks. But it's been a saga for sure.
How's it been affecting your eating?
Well, since the antibiotics, I'm back to consuming everything I can put my grubby little hands on.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I was terrified of cold food and cold liquid, and anything crunchy terrified me. It was horrifying.
So tepid soup was like your go-to.
Yeah. I was just drinking water, like room temperature water. But yeah, I'm very happy to be having that sorted. I'm very happy to not be in pain. And this was right off the back, because I recently went camping for the first time since I've moved here.
Oh, yeah.
In the Peak District. I now want to move to the Peak District. That was the prettiest place ever. Cooked a load of chipolatas over an open fire. Did hot dogs. It's great.
Wieners.
What have you been up to?
Just
Has it been
a lot of like work, obviously parenting. We had half term, and then they've got half term again very soon.
Jodi's back. Why do we keep giving these kids so many days off?
You don't realise how much time off they have until you have to have time off with them.
Please, just hold on to my child for one more week.
I love Terry with every fibre of my being. I could go to prison for that child.
Of course, yeah.
But holy moly.
He's very tactile.
He is. And when you've been a human climbing frame for several hours, turns into several days, you start to be like, have I made a mistake here?
What else is life but being climbed on?
Yeah, but you become a little bit immune to it as well. Like, obviously, it depends on like how you're feeling in yourself. Like, Andy doesn't cope as well with it as I do, but I think I'm just so used to it.
Yeah.
But holy shit.
Yeah, your response for dealing with that form of child is you just become numb.
Yeah, you just become numb to an elbow in the areola. It is...
Oh my God.
You've never felt... You think you've had a bad week?
Yeah.
Try an elbow to the tip. 4 stone of elbow.
So what, was he just moshing? Do you just catch him at a bad time?
He just puts it... He's not a small boy. Like
he's not.
He's long and slender. It's like
lanky.
being climbed by a giraffe.
Yeah, he's like the stick bug equivalent.
Yeah. But a very fast one.
Yeah. A scary stick bug. Like, if you were to come across him in a horror movie, you would have no chance.
I do like him, I promise.
Yeah, no, he's
like,
a great kid.
It sound like
He's a delightful human being. But if he decided to be in a horror movie, he would be the one that would get you.
Yeah. With the elbow, he'd be giving people elbows all over.
Can you imagine him just like clambering up a wall?
Have you seen Split?
No, I don't think so.
James McAvoy. He's got like the multiple personalities.
I know what you're talking about.
Glass.
I haven't
Have you seen
it.
Glass?
No, I want to.
Oh my God, have you seen anything?
It looks really good.
Have you seen a film before?
Sorry, film.
Film, movies.
I do struggle to commit to films because they're just dedicating 2.5 hours. I'm not going to get back. Is
me and Andy last night scrolled Netflix for 30 minutes.
This is Megan and I struggle.
And I said, right, we're going to put this on because we could have been half an hour into a film and loved it, but we've spent so long scrolling.
I know.
And then I start to hate the sound of the
just
remote.
The tick.
Tap, tap, tap. And I was just like, right, I'm just going to put this on. And do you know what, David? I can't even remember what it was.
There we go.
I can't remember what it was we were watching.
There
what was
we go.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Uncharted.
Oh, right. Wait, was that the one that was modeled off the video game?
Yes.
Oh,
so now that I remember, it's actually okay. It's got Tom Holland in it, and sorry, I'm fiddling with it.
That's like Meg's been watching the Fallout.
Oh yeah, we've seen that. It's very good. I like the soundtrack, but I like that sort of music.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I can't do. If we sit down and watch a movie, it's a big deal because we just never can agree on anything. The last one we watched, I made her watch. Made her well because I told her it was a fantastic
Clockwork
film.
Orange though.
She was no. I try to expose her to quality movies.
What's a quality movie? You like war stuff, don't you?
No, well, yeah,
Germans.
I do. No. This one, to be fair, was called A Good Year, and it was it was basically a rom-com, but it was what's his name from not Troy, from Gladiator.
Russell
Crowe.
And
Russell Crowe.
He's just grumpy, isn't he?
But he was a stock exchange guy in London.
Right.
And he inherited a chateau in France, and he was sort of like, busy city guy, moves to countryside, slows down, meets somebody he likes.
You always can see the romantic interest moment. You see like a pretty lady unloading her car, and they
pretty lady on a bicycle.
Oh, they lock eyes, and then they probably like go past each other, and then you just can't stop thinking about this stranger, and then they fall in love.
Yep.
Have you seen?
Fantastic
You won't have
film.
probably watched it. The series You.
No, but I think I know about it. It was sort of like odd couplings, wasn't it?
No, it's very good. I put off watching it for ages because I was like, it's just going to be like a sexy show. I don't know how else to explain it. Like my brain didn't want to come up with any more descriptive words other than sexy. It's not really sexy. It's kind of violent in places. Maybe a little bit sexy.
It's a sexy show. Do you want to go to the movies? Oh, pay to watch one of those sexy shows.
Where are we, Amsterdam?
If it has any production value over 10 million, it's a sexy show. You've got like low budget, like YouTube. That's just normal show.
Normal show.
If it has a high budget and a director, it's a sexy show.
It's a sexy show.
It's sexy.
I was watching a sexy show, but it is very good. So, if anyone has like any film or TV suggestions that will avoid us from scrolling for 30 minutes, much appreciated.
I'm trying to think what I think I've finally reached that age where I've stopped keeping up with like popular content. I just don't. I've stopped. Like, I don't listen to the radio. I don't know what the newest.
Oh no! The only music I
rappers.
learn that is like new music is probably from like a 13-second tickety tock.
Yeah.
And then I'll hear it somewhere like on the radio, and I'll be like, oh, I know this song from TikTok.
I do come across a few TikToks. I'm like, oh, that's a good song. I've never heard this before, and it came out like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it just becomes a trendy sound, doesn't it?
It just like passed me by, and I was like, oh, that's actually not a bad song.
See, I like to go on Spotify and do my day list.
Right, I was just asking you earlier. I suppose since this is a food podcast, we should probably.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about anything else but food now because that's why we're here.
That is why we're here, and we've done a solid, pleasant 10 minutes of what were we just about to go into.
Spotify. Although that's where you can listen to this podcast. Ding.
We can. Well, no, I won't go into that because I that job that I applied for.
Oh, yeah.
A little while ago. That was actually really good.
Thank you.
I told her that I had a food podcast.
Oh, God.
And I expected her to just, like, brush by it. And she unfortunately latched onto it and asked me to write it down for her.
What was
and
it?
I was like, I'm not getting this job. I was like, well, after she
She's
asked
writing
for
this stuff down going, not realistic.
Not really.
This guy's a joker.
No, I can see.
He'll poo in the fryer.
I'm applying for this job, and she goes and listens to that. What was that one that you said something about the Jews or something?
Oh, Stalker Jew, yeah.
It was in context.
One of
You'll
the
have to
episodes
go back
is
and
Show Me Your Bone Canoe.
So, yeah, this
And
is
do you know
just-
what Mia said to me? She was,
I'm after that interview. I'm not mentioning it.
no, never
No.
mention it again. Mia said to me that episode frustrates her because of the name of it, because of how it looks. She thinks it should say "Show me your bone canoe."
Bone.
Yeah, show me your bone canoe. I was like, it's canoe. She's like, is that what it says?
Is that what it's?
Bone canoe.
Right. I asked you about overnight oats earlier.
Blech.
Because this is one of those trendy things that I want to like. I want to do this.
Do you know?
Just like the have you seen the ones where they do the pre-made noodles?
Yes, they are. We spoke about that recently on another episode. The
Did we?
overnight noodles. I nearly said overnight oodles. Oh my god. So, overnight oats, my only experience with them was when I was trying to lose weight. So my experience is mushy plain with over-sweetened sweetener. So I've not had, like, the real deal. Like, these look delicious. Chocolate overnight oats.
Yeah. Rolled oats, cocoa powder, milk, yogurt, honey, chia seeds, chocolate chips.
Yeah, I've never had chia seeds. My friend has them a lot. And,
Helps your hair grow.
does it? I haven't even got
I
full
just
hairs.
think of, like, the chia plant.
Oh.
Chia pets.
Is this a fact, or are you being
No,
silly
I
Billy?
was just being... I was just being...
Silly Billy. So that's something that does not...
This is the overnight noodles.
Yes. So the overnight oats thing, there was one that just does not appeal to me at all, and it's like pineapple and coconut. I hate pina coladas.
Oh, really?
Yuck.
How do you feel about coconut in general?
I love coconut in general.
Right.
Love a Bounty.
Love a Bounty.
Eat all the chocolate off.
You guys don't have Almond Joy here, do you?
No. Is that milk?
No, it's basically a Bounty, but there's a little almond on top, under the chocolate.
Oh.
It's actually really
Like
nice.
oh no.
Just a plain almond.
I was thinking of walnut whips, but I don't think the nut's on there anymore.
We've
Do you know what a walnut whip is?
I don't know.
Google it. Walnut whip.
Walnut.
Yep.
Walnut.
Whip. That's a walnut whip.
Ah.
And it used to have just a walnut on the top, like
Oh, right.
completely unnecessary walnut on the top. Am I saying that right? Walnut.
Yeah, walnut.
I've said it so many times. It's lost all meaning.
In this episode, we're going to watch Jodi descend into madness.
Well, then I was thinking, is it walnut?
It's-
Walnut?
Is it
How do you say it?
There's just a Wahlberg on top. It's just...
How do you say it?
Walnut.
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 Oh, God. I can't say it anymore. That's it. I'm not saying it again.
Okay. The overnight noodles. I'm not going to do the overnight oats then, because it looked like something that I wanted to do, but I didn't realize it
I
was...
think you'd have to put a lot of, like...
I need to buy some vermicelli noodles, though.
yes.
I've started us a Pinterest, by the way.
Oh.
But unfortunately,
Random.
I've not subscribed to anything yet, so it's just like chocolate chip
Random.
cookie doughs.
You ever made a mug cake before?
No, yeah, I think I have actually. Oh, fajita marinades. See, this is... I'm sorry,
I do
guys, we're
that.
just browsing Pinterest now, but yeah, this is like what you do with
Yeah, with my meat
meal prep.
laminator.
No, what I was going to say was, because this is not exactly an organized podcast, this is us just coming back after our hiatus.
Yeah, it's a catch up and shooting the shit situation, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've also pulled up some major headlines from
Major as in not like
not like
war
not
time
like
stuff.
what's happening in Gaza or the Ukraine.
We're
but
keeping it bright and breezy with
Yeah,
food,
this is-
food news.
food news in the last 2023.
This is
so
where
the
we needed
last
some
year.
dramatic music. Food news.
We'll start with
Can you do a food news, please?
food.
Like an American.
Oh, right. Okay, hold on. I just want to think of like a good intro.
Because the music would be like ba ba ba
Bum, bum, bum.
With some other stuff.
My name's Dave with food news. Today we follow a story about Stanley Cups. Not in hockey, folks. That was Sports with Rich. This is... I can't think of it straight.
I was invested. I was looking at the picture like, wow.
Just looking at the article like,
I feel like I'm already listening to a podcast.
Stanley Cups, if you have TikTok, you've probably seen.
If you have TikTok or like a millennial mom.
Millennial mom, yeah. But this is just the Hydro Flask saga. Yeti was another one, then now Stanley. I already have a Yeti, but it basically went viral because the... yeah, actually. He does look like he looks like a really tiny Yeti.
He's an Ewok.
Yeah, he's an Ewok.
But
yeah, Stanley Cup, I guess, survived a car fire and there was still ice in it.
Allegedly.
Same thing happened with a Yeti.
Allegedly.
But now you can't even. I remember you used to be able to find these in Walmart. They cost like nothing. Like when I say nothing, like 20, 30
That's
pounds.
not nothing.
Yeah, 20, 30 pounds. But now they're going for hundreds.
20, 30 pounds. That's even really expensive.
Yeah, but they're really nice cups. They're like proper metal, double walled.
I got one from Tesco for £8 and it's the best insulated cup I've ever used.
Yeah, but that's... Wait, you say Tesco or Costco?
Tesco.
Oh, Tesco,
yeah,
right.
£6 or £8, and when it was blazing heat outside, we were sat with the pool, Terry's gallivanting, me and Andy sat outside, ice, Pepsi, in one of these cups with a straw and a lid, and the cup itself was hot from being out in the sun.
Yeah.
But the drink inside, it was so confusing on the senses. Hands were hot from the cup, but the liquid inside was freezing cold.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
For hours.
I would put my coffee in it, but it actually keeps the coffee hot for too long.
Oh, no.
To the point where you're just like, I can't even enjoy my coffee because the wait time for it to cool down is fucking ages.
Take the lid off for a bit, let it...
But yeah, it's basically the Yeti cup for everybody else. Stanley is a good company, though, for those thermoses. They've been making them for a while. But the big one, McDonald's, is apparently opening another different type of store.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Called Cosmics. I think they're trying to go on like the Cosmic type, but it's COSMC. And then apostrophe S, so I guess there's...
Cosmics, because you'd say McDonald's.
Yeah.
You don't say McDonald's, although you probably do. McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Mick, yeah, you say it like
McDonald's. Mick, yeah. Mick.
Like Mike.
How do you say it?
Muck.
Muck.
M-U-K. Muck.
McDonald.
McDonald's.
Let's go round McDonald. But yeah, Cosmics will serve drinks like a churro frappe, pear-flavored slush, and turmeric latte.
None of those things appeal to me. I would stop reading.
McDonald's has dominated the fast food game since its debut in 1940. Now the company is getting its sights on new terrain, the beverage space. It's basically going to be a Dunkin', but...
That's because the youth love a little coffee treat, don't they? That's why none of us can buy houses.
Ah, right. So the first location...
I refer to myself as the youth. I'm 35.
Are you 35?
Yeah, how old do you think I was? 42?
No, I thought you were younger than that for some reason.
I am 9.
So they're going to have the first one be in Illinois, but then they're going to be in Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and
Texas
in Mexico. That would explain why it's like churros, spicy queso sandwich. That's going to be crazy. A new McDonald's.
What would you choose from that menu then?
The menu has creamy avocado and tomatillo sandwich, which...
What's tomatillo, sorry?
Tomatillo is like a little green tomato. It's used a lot in salsa verde.
Right, I knew that salsa verde was coming. Green, yeah.
Yeah, green salsa. But yeah, it's really nice.
From the universe.
Queso sandwich.
The one that's really boiled my piss is the savoury hash browns.
Which is hilarious because that'll never... the machines never work.
No.
Egg McMuffin sandwiches. Pretzel bites, yeah, pretty normal.
They look dry as shit.
Pretzel bites?
Just dough with sesame seeds on it.
Well, surely you would get some sort of dipping sauce.
If you're American, absolutely, yeah.
Mustard dipping sauces.
Mustard?
Mustard. Not your mustard, because it's too spicy.
Pussy hole.
That's like what we call New York style.
New York!
New York.
Yeah, the savoury hash browns has really bugged me because hash browns are just savoury. That's nothing different to what they already do. Hash brown is hash brown. That was a nice
would you call Would you call chips savory? Like just a plain thing of chips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like savoury fries.
Do you feel like there's
That's as if there's like a difference. Like, oh, have you tried our sweet hash browns?
Yeah, but do you not feel that there's like a grey area when it comes to like, so obviously you have sweet like ice cream, chocolate cake, and then you've got savory like Buffalo Wild Wings or like, lasagna. But then do you think there's like a middle ground of almost greyish, blandish? I mean, the British have existed in this realm for ages.
I can tell you for sure that I would class a hash brown as savoury. I would never be like, oh, a lovely bit of ice cream on that hash brown.
Hash brown is just another way of eating a chip.
Yeah, which is a savoury.
Fried potato. But do you not feel it kind of falls, almost like salt and vinegar crisps could almost fall into like a grey season. If you were to have a scale of flavour, do you not feel there's like a grey middle area? Like
Porridge.
Because, porridge.
Porridge is nothing. Porridge is neither here nor there. It's not sweet and it's not savoury. It's just a neutral. It's a flavour carrier.
It's like tofu.
Like pork.
Pork?
Yeah.
Now, see, I wouldn't.
Just
bacon?
Look at my. Spat on myself then.
He's foaming at the rabid.
Pork on its own hasn't got a flavour. Pork plain. If you were just to
They
cook
say
plain
eating pork is the closest to human flesh.
Tasty.
Which, I mean, if pork skins is anything to go for. I do like
Isn't
the
it
extra
like
fat.
firefighters can't eat bacon or something? Like they can't eat bacon sandwiches because it smells too much like human.
Whoa! I did not know that.
We've taken a doctor.
That's not true. Fire. How do you even go about Googling that?
I'm going to end up on a bloody list if I Google this.
That's not right.
Do firefighters like bacon? Is it true that bacon reminds firefighters of burnt human flesh?
Okay, alright. That is easily...
The smell of charred human remains is a foul and putrid smell. Okay, fair. There's my answer.
Alright. We're gonna switch now to just pleasing the algorithm by looking at food TikToks.
Ooh, last night did you see it on my Instagram? I made sausage and gnocchi.
I did see that. That looked delicious.
So delicious.
You need to... Have you ever gone to the market in town and got smoked sausage there? There's a Polish delicatessen that does. In the fish, where all the fish market is?
Yeah.
It's just there next to where the cheese is. The best smoked sausage. It's just kielbasa, but I buy it by like 5 kg. So I just have a giant bag in the freezer full of smoked sausage. They're like that long each.
That's what you put in gumbo, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's great in like pasta.
Yeah.
Anything.
So
really.
I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with smoked anything.
Oh, actually, speaking of sausage, we need to shout you out.
Me?
For those burgers. Were they burgers you did the other day?
Yes, I made some smash burgers.
But what did you put in them? A secret ingredient.
I accidentally bought 5% mince, which we know does not make a good burger or meatball. You might as well just eat some chewed up
You
cardboard.
have to have fat in a burger.
So I kind of looked in my fridge and was like, I can't just add like a gob full of oil to this burger mince, to this beef mince. It'd be rank. And then I realised I had a small packet of chorizo, like chopped chorizo. So I chopped up even smaller and mixed the living shit out of it into this beef mince.
Right.
Bit of salt and pepper. And I'm going to blow my own horn. Toot toot! It was delicious.
It was
You came for a barbecue, didn't you?
incredible.
Yeah.
Because there was so much, obviously chorizo is really fatty, so it offset it perfectly. The burgers held together really nicely.
And they were really thin, like I just literally, I hate to be like, oh, smash burger, but that's what it was. Like I just squished it down, didn't make it into a fancy shape. It was nice and crispy on certain parts, and then I softened the onions that went on the hot dogs in the cooking, like leftover juice.
Right.
So I'll definitely be doing that again.
See, this simple noodle jar recipe, this is... I want to be this person.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's more difficult than it looks. I want that in my life. But I just...
It does look good.
It looks... Oh, look at the ramen.
I pimped out a ramen yesterday. I forgot to put my egg on top, though, so now I've just got a boiled egg. All about it.
I did some duck eggs the other day, but... Ooh. Yes.
Picture of the ramen.
Is that like a curry?
So that's the egg yolk mixing with the gochujang and the powder.
Your little ramen hack.
Pimp it out, yeah. You very kindly got me some duck eggs, didn't you? And I've not had one yet.
They are...
Andy had one because I was like, you're going to have a duck egg because I want to see what they look like.
Yes.
And the yolk is absolutely massive. I was a bit intimidated by these eggs.
I did... I guess you would call it a Filipino dish the other night for Meg for dinner, and I was just using what was like available, but it was sort of Asian, sort of like South American, because it was like a burrito, but in the burrito was like an egg fried rice.
Oh, okay.
With I did like some onions, peppers, and a chili fried in the burrito with chopped up grilled chicken.
Ooh.
And then the outside I covered in cheese on top and then baked it in the oven.
Like a Asian burrito.
Yeah, and then but on top it had a guacamole sauce that I made with a bit of that like alioli, is that what it's called? Areola nipple dip.
The nipple dip.
Yeah, the nipple dip. And then a bit of orange juice.
Oh!
In the actual juice of an orange in the guac.
I gathered.
And it made like a... Yeah. Well, I didn't want you thinking I was just pouring like...
Just opening some pride.
Some actual orange juice. And then some sour cream.
Oh, do you know what we've got for dinner tonight? We've not had it for ages because I'd started to do that thing where I obsess over one dish, and Andy was like, we're not having this for a couple of weeks because you'll start to hate it. And he really likes it and didn't want me to be like, I don't want this anymore.
What is it?
Brazilian pork belly.
Oh,
with rice, some greens.
Do you do that in the oven? The pork?
Yeah. I fry it off, do the old Maillard reaction, and then I sling it in the oven. But I put it in like a foil pouch because pork loin is practically fatless.
Yeah.
It's very, very lean, so it can become dry very quickly.
Right.
So I fry it off just to brown it. Then I add... for this particular recipe, it's a bit different. Oh no, I'm talking about... No, that's pork belly. Sorry, I'm getting myself confused. That's pork belly. I'm talking about pork loin.
Yeah. Pork loin's the lean one.
Pork loin's the lean one.
Yeah.
Pork belly's the super fatty one that is just incredible.
Pork belly, yeah. Meg can't do the fat part of pork belly, which is like half the experience. So.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't eat it if it was undercooked. We had it on the barbecue once, and I was a bit like, it's a little bit wobbly.
Yeah.
So I've really gone on a bit of a confusing little journey.
It's what we do.
Yeah.
It's what we do.
So pork belly, I blast that on the pan very quickly.
Yes.
Then sling it in the oven lower and slower because then it really...
So you get the crispy outside, but then you let it bake and
it goes like buttery, like crispy on the outside and then buttery
You're
on the inside.
rendering all that.
Yeah, but pork loin is the opposite. So brown that off, put it in with its herbs and spices, whatever you want to add, and then make like a foil cocoon with steam space.
Right.
Like a little parcel. And then once that's cooked, I leave it to rest for like 30, 40 minutes while I'm doing everything else, because then it sucks all that juice back in that's steamed around it. And it's bloody lovely.
Yeah, I've been on sort of a fermenting kick lately. So I did, as I think I mentioned already in the podcast, but the garlic and chili fermenting in the honey, which is going great. The garlic has completely soaked up the honey now. They're like little candied garlic bits, which if you eat one of those, it's actually really good for your immune system as well.
Good health.
Then we went to dinner with some friends, and she is the lady. She comes from the lady. Nicole is her name. She's a delightful human being. But she comes from sort of like the Middle East region, and they have something over there called, well, actually I think it's Greek, but it's called lebna, and it's sort of like a I guess the look of it looks like either creme fraiche or like cream cheese, but it's literally just like yogurt, Greek yogurt, salt, and then she put like a bit of minced garlic in there. And it tastes so good. I could just eat it with a spoonful.
As soon as you add garlic to anything, it elevates it like.
But it's you're eating cheese, so basically you take like a whole thing of Greek yogurt, mix in. I made a post about it on Instagram, but you put some salt in it, bit of yogurt, and then you let it sit in the fridge over a sort of like a cheesecloth in a sieve, so the water drains out, and it solidifies into this cheese, but. Because it is just Greek yogurt, and you're not putting any sort of sugars or anything in it, it's actually not that unhealthy. And so you can put it on there, and it feels quite decadent, but it's really light. And it just tastes like, you've ever had boursin?
Yeah.
Oh, boursin. That's what it tastes like.
Boursin. How
Boursin.
You uncouth.
It's so good, though. Boursin really, there's got to be some sort of illegal narcotics in there somewhere. I just can't. Have you never just like had to restrain yourself from just eating it by a spoon?
I think Andy likes that more than me. That's our Christmas cheese. One of our Christmas cheeses.
I don't like cheese, but that's the one thing where I'm just
I wouldn't really class it as cheese.
I say I don't like cheese. I'm not as involved in cheese as like...
Yeah, a friend of mine asked me about this, you know.
Oh, God.
They were like, why doesn't David like mac and cheese?
I don't...
And I was like, I don't know, mate.
It's not a main... You know, Megan and I went somewhere the other night, and they had mac and cheese as a main, and I already in my mind was like, I don't want to eat here now. Mac and cheese is not a main. That's like... I'm
going to put a poll on the Instagram about this. Is mac and cheese a main? Because I think...
It's not a main.
It's going to come up 50-50.
And you know what? It's not even because it doesn't have meat in it, because I do think there are loads of mains that you can have that don't have meat. It's just... It's such a side dish.
Oh, it's bloody lovely. I'm having a mac and cheese toasty today. Have you seen that one?
Mac and cheese toasty?
Yeah. So
that just seems so...
I'm going somewhere
so
today,
exhaustive.
And their special at the minute is a mac and cheese toasty. Tell me that doesn't look fandabby-dozy.
That I could get through, like... That's like the cheesecake of sandwiches.
Oh, I love cheese.
You're going to take 2 bites
and I didn't
be like,
shit
I'm
myself
full.
either.
That bread looks great, but I just... Man... When it comes to cheese, I think there's a few scenarios where it's nice, but it should not be the main ingredient. Pulled pork mac and cheese.
I bought a pulled pork mac and cheese from Aldi.
I've seen those in Aldi. Are those any good?
I've not had it yet because I forgot I got it until just now when I saw that picture.
Inspired Cuisine, they've come out with a whole line of new stuff.
So they've got the pulled pork one, the plain one, and they've got like a truffle one.
Yeah.
But I could absolutely eat mac and cheese every day. Yeah.
You know what I could eat every single day would be...
A jar of jalapenos.
Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice I could eat every day. Bowl of rice. Some grilled chicken on top with just hot sauce, green onions, and like some coriander. And I could just eat that same thing every day.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised by that information.
Chicken. Do you not have a meal that you could eat every single day? If somebody told you can eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
But would I get sick of it?
That's the thing. I would never get sick of chicken and rice.
Because I do that. I already do that. I'll be like, I really like this meal. I'm going to have it as much as I possibly can. And then I'm like, I'm not going to eat that for 9 months.
Megan has banned me from making chicken and rice as a meal because I will happily eat that. And I've done it so many times.
Like something a bodybuilder would say.
But the only reason I've stopped doing it is because she doesn't like having the same like style meal. I usually try and judge it up like, this is Asian chicken and rice. This is Mexican chicken and rice. Here's a Southern chicken and rice.
I bet grains.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn it, David, it's just chicken and rice. So now I have to like put things with pasta. You know.
Okay, I think the thing I could eat every day, which would not be good for my health, but I know that I wouldn't get sick of it, would be pizza.
Oh yeah, 100%. I get that. You know, I'm sort of convinced pizza's only unhealthy if you get it like from a takeaway. Because if you think about the homemade pizza, I'm about to do another one of those. Sorry, I've just aggressively pointed at Jodi. That's when I'm like, have a good point. I'm like, you listen here. No, but I'm going to do another one of those Greek yogurt pizzas. But I've recently purchased a proper rectangular griddle, cast iron griddle, because we've started camping now. I'm a camping guy. It's outdoor vlog starting soon.
He's an outdoorsy guy
But yeah, I bought one of those for camping. Didn't tell Meg I did. It was sort of a ask for forgiveness, not permission thing. And now I'm going to use it as a pizza stone on the grill outside. But if your dough is just Greek yogurt and some flour, pretty basic ingredients, you're using, a tin of passata, some reasonable amount of cheese.
See, I just I get tomato paste and put like a couple of tablespoons of water in and just loosen that all up and then add like a little bit of garlic powder, maybe a bit of oregano.
The best one I've ever used is just like those stir-in sauces you get from like Heinz or whatever, where it's like the cherry tomato and basil.
Do you not find them a bit sweet sometimes?
They are a bit sweet. Some of them are a bit sweet. I've found a couple that I think straddle that line quite nicely, but the ones that already have seasoning I'll use just because I'm lazy half the time. And then, a bit of cheese, and then you're going to put some veg on top and maybe some protein. That together is quite healthy.
It's very balanced, isn't it?
But when you go to a takeaway, they put so much... That's why takeaways taste so good, because it has so much salt in it. Wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning looking to
turned into a raisin.
Chug a glass of water while you're, trying to gasp for air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna...
Nothing beats a freshly stone-baked pizza.
Oh!
Or like sourdough stone-baked pizza.
Whenever Megan and I go to a pub, if it says like stone-baked pizzas are on the menu, that's probably what we're ordering.
And like the inconsistent crust, it's like a bit burnt on one bit.
You get those big bubbles and they go black on the top.
And then it's just like a bubble of sauce from the dough has gone up, the cheese has all fell off.
Like super thin.
Yeah.
And that's why I'll just go for like a margarita, because I think...
Always go for margarita. I like pepperoni, but if the pepperoni's too thick, I'm a bit like I'm going full raisin at 3 o'clock in the morning.
See, so we went to a pub the other day and they had stone-baked pizzas. We got the margarita, but there was one on there which was hoisin and duck. So you would have... You're not dissuaded by that. No, it was the Red Cow.
The Red Cow, Kirby?
Coming out, if you're coming out of Kirby,
Ah, okay. Because I think I had the hoisin and duck one at the Stanford one time.
I remember that. We got that when we went just after Little Terry came with the pig.
Very, very nice. Like the sweetness of the sauce on a pizza is not like a usual flavour, is it?
Yeah.
Because I really like a barbecue pizza.
Really?
Yeah. Whereas Andy doesn't like that because the barbecue sauce is so sweet.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really just is...
It just scratches that itch.
Yeah, I'm really getting into that now. I think next time we have a takeaway pizza, I am going to have like
barbecue pizza.
Barbecue, sauce, chicken, bacon,
some coriander.
Onion. Coriander?
On
top.
No, get the pizza and then, sorry, I can't keep damn it, Jodi! Just shaking you.
I'm going to move to the other side of the room.
But Megan and I will do that where if we're really trying to save money, we'll get a takeaway, but half a takeaway. And then we'll go to Harrison's, and obviously Harrison's is one of our favorite Indian takeaways, but it's a bit expensive, and so we'll just get a main, and then I'll do rice and stuff like that. But if you do that with a barbecue pizza, and then afterwards you just chop up, really finely chop some coriander on top.
Andy doesn't like coriander. He's one of them that thinks it tastes like metal.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Coriander I could eat. Sometimes I'll make a sandwich, a ham sandwich, but instead of lettuce, I'll just use a fistful of coriander.
I added that to my ramen yesterday and then put more on the top.
Oh, I love coriander. It's so
good. It's orangey. I don't know why people...
It's citrusy.
Yeah, I don't know why people think it's soapy or metallic.
No, yeah. It's a gene thing. But I think it tastes it's like if lemon were a plant. Oh, obviously you have lemongrass, but it is very citrusy. I find it's
lemon basil.
Yeah, almost like a lemon basil. Yeah, it's really nice. Basil. But then I find dried coriander does not represent fresh coriander in the slightest.
We've got dried coriander leaves, and then we've got dry coriander powder. Neither translate to fresh coriander.
Can I just say, is dried coriander leaves doing anything?
I don't know.
Are you getting flavor from that? Because it looks great. My whole life I'm convinced it's purely garnish. The same thing, you get those dried parsley flakes.
Yeah, I'm a parsley bae.
It looks so good though. I'll always do it.
Yeah.
But I still don't
Just for
know.
that green, isn't it? Even
The
if
only
it doesn't
ones
add any flavour.
I know add flavor is dried basil, dried oregano, dried thyme. Because
Rosemary.
even when you open, you open the container and just, it smells like a potpourri
Yeah,
thing.
sage.
Yeah, sage. Oh, where I work, there's a big, giant rosemary bush. And then there's a sage bush like growing inside of it.
Ooh.
And so every single time I do a roast, I just step outside and clip
Yeah.
these fresh
It's making
herbs.
its own, what's it called? Bouquet garni or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Bouquet garni. Bouquet garni.
Garnish. We just recently started growing a lot of herbs, actually. We've got some fresh lettuce in the ground. I had a bunch of onions that I just hadn't used, and they started sprouting.
Yeah.
So we just planted
Do it with
them in the
garlic
ground.
as well, can't you?
Yeah.
But it says if you're going to plant garlic, to leave that, like, shiny skin on. Not take that
Oh,
off.
right. Really?
Hmm.
Well, yeah, we just planted some in the greenhouse. I think we've got sage in there as well.
I love sage, you know. Where is it that we went? Zizzi's or Bella Italia, like one of the very budget-friendly restaurants. And I had a pasta, and it was like a creamy sauce, and it came with like deep-fried sage on the top.
Really?
Oh, it was delicious.
Ooh, have you ever had
Buttery sage.
fried pickles?
Fried pickles.
So it's like a pickle round.
Like pickle
with-
chips.
Yeah, pickle
I've
chips.
seen them, haven't had them. I would like to try
Very
them though.
And then we've got something called fried green tomatoes, which is sort of like a southern thing. But there's
Yeah.
also a very famous, I think it's a movie called Fried Green Tomatoes. But yeah, it's a thing. It's the tomatillos, but you batter them and deep fry them, and it's
Oh,
the
they're
closest.
slimy.
So I was gonna say the closest I can equate it to is if you've ever had
Fried
eggplant.
Oh.
Fried eggplant. Well, sorry, aubergine.
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 Why did you say that like you were taking the piss out of the British?
Well, because I didn't realize for a disturbingly long time that eggplant is aubergine. And then, because I grew up in Texas mostly, so it was, everything is just eggplant. What's the other one? Cilantro.
So do you guys have eggplant parm? I've had that.
Eggplant parm, yeah.
Parm.
Meg really wants me to do her chicken parm, which is basically just
Flat chicken and
fried
breadcrumbs in
chicken,
it.
yeah, fried chicken over like tomato sauce with extra cheese.
Yeah. Ooh.
So,
Do you know what you should do then? You should go to Frankie and Benny's because they do what's it called? It's like a chicken napoleata or something like that.
is that? See, one that I really want to do is like the schnitzel style, which is basically the same thing. You bread
Costco
it.
do really good schnitzels.
Oh, schnitzel.
They're really big and they're really thin.
Do you make your own breadcrumbs?
No.
Do you buy your
I buy 'em.
breadcrumbs? What is panko breadcrumbs made out of? Is it just, how do they get them to be so
The
fluffy?
panko plant.
That's what. This is one of them panko plants. Panko breadcrumbs. Where is this? Where do they come from?
How?
Is it just white bread? Panko is a Japanese style of breadcrumbs traditionally used. Yeah, I know what it is.
Coarse breadcrumbs, so you just don't blast it so much in the
Lightly
whizzer.
baking coarse breadcrumbs to give them more crunch. But they're so.
So I guess you wouldn't blitz them as finely, would you?
That's what I want. I think panko breadcrumbs.
I've got
are best.
both. I've got golden breadcrumbs and panko breadcrumbs. Panko to me is way superior
Oh yeah.
breadcrumb.
Have you done where they use what is it, cornflakes? Crushed up
No,
cornflakes.
I think I've done Doritos.
Oh my god. How did that go?
Well,
I did well. I did because as much as I despise mac and cheese as a main, the people at work absolutely love it. So I'm in a unique case of I hate mac and cheese, but I really know how to make a good mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But I never make it. But if you do mac and cheese, but then you buy like Cheeto Puffs, and then you put them in a bag, crush them all up, really sort of almost make the mac and cheese too liquidy in a casserole dish, and then over the top, crushed Cheeto Puffs, and then you bake it.
oh yeah.
And it just, the Cheeto Puffs sort of soak up that extra liquid in the cheese sauce, and then you just, and it is
As the kids
appealing.
say, Sounds like it slaps.
It's Jodi, you're not allowed to wear such a trendy t-shirt and say such untrendy things. You come in here with your fancy pig. We're going to have to take a picture of this because it is technically food related.
Yeah, the folding. I'll have to take a picture of it.
It's a shirt with 4 pigs. It's a bouquet bouquet shirt. It's a boutique shirt. But it's got 4 pigs on it, and then it says, "Where is the 5th pig?" But then if you fold it a certain way, unfortunately she's wearing the shirt, so she can't really show us, but as she's already tried to do.
I'll put it on the Instagram. I'll do the before and then the folded so you can see. And I will leave the reveal as a surprise.
You have to fold it like one of those... Do you remember in school those little things that you used to fold and you open...
Yeah, you make choices.
You ask questions.
The outside, pick a number between 1 and 8.
I can't remember. What are those called?
Flippy floppy paper.
That is not. Okay. Paper
flippy floppy.
Paper choice. Paper choose your own adventure.
Put kids school paper.
Kids school paper.
Paper game.
What?
Oh.
What happened?
I don't know.
Kids school paper game. Fold. Oh, it came up!
Paper fortune teller.
Paper fortune teller.
Chatterbox. Oh, I like that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right.
I'm going to do a food fortune teller for next time.
What if you make one for
ingredients
for picking a dinner? If nobody in the house can come finger guns again. If nobody in the house can come to a conclusion as what to eat for dinner, and you're just at your wits' end, you just pull out the food fortune teller.
And you make a few.
Yeah.
Flat pack them, put them in a folder. Lovely.
There we go.
Organised.
Yeah. Or you have a sort of ingredient for each, so you have loads of grains. One's all protein.
Vegetarian.
Another one's all veg. Yeah. And then you just do them. Say, okay, the protein or the grain is going to be white rice. Protein's going to be pork. The veg is going to be, and then you do the veg 3
different
times.
ingredient.
Yeah.
Chatterbox.
Then you do the veg like 3 times.
We're both doing this over and over.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what we're talking about, but still doing it.
We both, yeah. But
that would be a
that's
good way.
A really good
but
way.
you'd have to make sure you had each ingredient from each fortune teller in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
Although, a food shop, it could be a food shop special.
I'm starting to fall more in love with the sort of shopping at a small local shop, but more often. So, the traditional way to do is one big shop the beginning of a week or the beginning of your food week, whatever that may be. But I quite like the going to a smaller shop and getting I've just bought fresh, prawns or whatever, and then you do
Are they warm?
Why does it always come back to prawn? We're having prawn pad thai tonight as well. But last night I did chili.
What?
Look on your face.
Did I look really dopey? Because I feel like I just looked really dopey.
It was just one look of just you could tell. I could tell you were doing something with your hands that was satisfying. Because you were in that gaze. When you're just rest your eyes and you stare.
I'm looking through you.
Yeah, and you're doing something sort of rhythmic that you can just sort of drift off while you're doing. So when you pick it, you get that skin sort of on the side of your fingernail. And you just pick that and you can just sort of...
It's because I like to
drift off.
Because I've done my nails.
Right, Jodi, you can rest here. You've had a child that's been on.
I was here for 9 o'clock after getting a kid ready and myself ready. So
your brain's just
decompressing.
I can just turn off for a sec. That's what you look like. You were just there was just glass. It was just. Your body's like, yeah, we're just gonna run some updates real quick.
Just let him talk while I update.
Oh, he's talking for a while. We're just gonna run some updates. You're just.
I'll wait to hear a buzzword and come back.
Updating your firmware while we're in the middle of a podcast. That's good. I'm glad you're able to relax.
I'm back in the room. Continue.
Oh, right. My neck muscles.
You said pad thai, then you said
prawns. Yeah, that was what
Maybe
brought you back out.
About
was
something
the
else.
Prawns. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're probably gonna have prawn pad thai, but I've started chopping cashews and putting it on top.
Oh yes.
Meg likes sort of. She's a crispy person, crunchy. Is what she likes to eat. So I've started when I do salad now. I'll put like. Obviously, you have your lettuce and veg and that, and then on top you do like a bit of mayo or whatever your dressing is. But then you know those crispy fried onions you buy in the bag, those on top. Some chopped peanuts or chopped cashews.
They're
fresh parsley
to have on like ramen as well, like the crispy fried onions.
Yes,
and even like sesame seeds. Just plopping them on the top. I know they don't bring an awful lot for that. Well, they don't bring anything flavour-wise.
They look
but it's just
great,
a little.
Though. Yeah. One of them that I would have all the time if they weren't so damn expensive is. You ever have pine nuts?
Yes, I have pine nuts.
So
toasted.
Nice.
I put them on like Andy's bougie breakfast on Sunday.
I could just eat a bag of pine nuts. There's something very Moorish about.
They must have a high oil content.
Yes.
Because
you can buy pine nut oil. That's a thing.
Because you can brown them quite nicely without them getting burnt.
Yeah.
And you can tell by the texture, almost like buttery. Do you know what I mean?
Buttery, yeah. Definitely.
Butter noodles. I said that yesterday. When I was making Terry's dinner. He had spaghetti and meatballs. And I went, butter noodles like that.
Yeah.
Very aggressively.
Yeah. I mean, I was just...
Kid dinner.
That looks like some of the dinners I make for Meg sometime. Now, last night we had loaded baked potato.
What did you load
I realized
with?
I'd never done a jacket potato for her as a meal, and I have nothing against a jacket potato.
Jacket potato is a very underrated meal.
It's super versatile. Put whatever you want in it. So I was like, tonight, like, why don't we have a loaded... So I did like a really simple, really fine, liquidy, like beef chili, a basic beef chili, and then I had sour cream, fresh coriander, some chilies, some loads of cheese, obviously. It was really nice. You just sometimes when you forget like a meal and you're like, man, like because you kind of, I know I'll go down this rabbit hole of trying to make new things to the point where I realize like I've not just had like one of those basic like bog standard meals, like a jacket potato or like a ham sandwich, and you're just like, man.
Fun fact, I hate ham sandwiches. Just ham sandwich is
Really?
like my idea of...
Have you ever, even if it was like a proper fancy ham sandwich?
If it was just plain ham and bread...
Like ham and like Wonder Bread. Like white bread. Oh, sorry, Wonder Bread's like... We'll say Wonder Bread if we're trying to talk about like the really processed, bleach white, square white bread.
So plain ham... Oh my God. My plain ham sandwich... I'm just spitting everywhere. Plain ham sandwich, no.
You're not a fan. Ham and mayo.
It would just roll around in my mouth.
Yeah.
And I'd be just like...
Do you know what I think I've already said this on the podcast, but my brother's Subway order, William, my little brother, and sorry, William, I don't think I've called him under the bus for this, but... called him under the bus. Come on, William! Come on, William! Hey, you're coming, you're gonna do this.
Come on.
His Subway order would be Italian bread, tuna mayo, bacon, cheese. I think he put cheese. I might be wrong about that. But then he would have it toasted. And then it would be on like a road trip. So it'd be in the car. And I He's ordered that since he was little, and I just don't get that. Just seems like a horrifying combination.
You've got to have
me.
cheese on it, surely, if you're toasting it. Otherwise, you're just warming up tuna.
Warm tuna and bacon.
I love a tuna melt, though.
Tuna melt, yeah.
Melt.
I don't.
Tuna melt, cheese, tuna, bit of red onion. Oh.
I think egg mayo is probably my favorite, like, kid's sandwich.
Yeah. Can't beat a Trump cob.
Yeah. A Trump cob.
Fart cob, yeah.
Oh, right.
Not like Donald.
Cob. Yeah, I heard, not Gip, what was the term for, guff?
Yeah.
Do you know what guff means?
Yeah, fart.
Yeah. I heard somebody use the term guff the other day, and I was like, why can't you guys just say what it is?
Well, what is it then?
It's a fart.
But is that the technical term? Who came up with fart?
Expulsion of gas.
Flatulation.
Flatulence, yeah, technically, yeah, it's flatulence, yeah.
Going back to pine nuts, that's like what I do with a pine nut is just throw it on top of a...
Those are cherry tomatoes. So Jodi's just showing me a very beautiful
They're either
picture.
cherry or plum.
Did you roast those yourself?
Of course.
Do you do that in the oven?
Air fryer.
I'm gonna... Oh, never mind.
You can oven them as well. Like,
We're
no
staying at your mom's house for the next 3 days, and
She's
she has
got
an air fryer. And I now have to use
bit of oil, bit of salt, garlic if you've got it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for that dish.
I've never used an air fryer, so I will let you know.
It's gonna change your life.
Apparently, they're like the best thing in the world. Several people I'm very close to went through the whole lockdown air fryer thing.
Oh, see, I don't think we've got as in lockdown, maybe like nearer the end of lockdown, but I only use the oven now if I'm browning something off, like, you know, to melt the cheese on top.
Yeah.
Or if I'm doing a roast dinner.
The
air fryer gets used more than... The kettle and the air fryer are like our most used appliances.
Right. Because it is just... I guess it is just a small convection oven. But, yeah.
And they heat up really quickly. Like, I don't even need to preheat.
Yeah, Meg's been on me to get one for ages.
We gave you one!
I know, I broke it.
Oh my god. Hell's teeth.
Yeah, I left it outside, and it got rained on.
You didn't break it then, you neglected it.
No, I know. I feel really bad about it. Yeah. So I'm going to need to try that then. Cause
I find
I know. You're like the 8th person to try it.
There's no point me talking about it. They're just good.
They're great. I don't know.
What have you got against an air fryer?
I don't know.
You just don't want to be one of these.
I know
sheep,
I sound like a... No, well, yeah, that's what I sound like. I sound like you just use an open flame like our ancestors. No, I am going to give it a try. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love it.
Well, if you get an air fryer in the next couple of weeks, I look forward to hearing about it. I look forward to hearing about your feedback from the air fryer you will be using at the weekend.
Yes. And...
You'll message me and be like, Jodi, I understand now. That's what you'll do. That's exactly
I'd like to
how
know
you sound.
how accurate people feel about that impersonation.
Well, I want to know how accurate my American accent is, because obviously there are genuines listening.
Yeah, because our 2 biggest countries for listeners is the US and the UK. We also I noticed we had a listener from India for like 1 or 2 of the podcast episodes, so that's cool. Welcome from India.
Welcome from India.
Welcome India. But yeah, this is just a catch-up episode, so there wasn't really any structure. We will be back to regularly scheduled programming not soon, because I am going away for a couple
Yeah, we are hoping
days.
to record a couple of episodes now, so that one will go out today, which is...
Yes, now.
The 3rd of May.
3rd of May is when this is being recorded.
The next one will obviously be the following week. But there's nothing to stop us sort of recording across the pond.
Yeah, we can do a cross across the
Transatlantic
pond.
recording.
Transatlantic. That's what I was looking for. Right. We'll call this ended on that one then, shall we?
What minutes are we at?
59 we're 15 seconds
What can
away
we fill a minute? Because I love to finish it on an hour.
An hour.
Exactly 1 minute worth of chatter.
So presumably you make a meal plan for your
week.
What is the next meal you're like secretly excited in yourself about cooking? Tonight is
Brazilian pork belly stew with brown rice, greens.
See, because I love those dinners where you're like, it's complicated, but you're not upset about it. You're like, I know this is going to be a banging meal. So you're just like, I just want to get in there, start doing it. Yeah.
I've also picked up some hours over the weekend at work, so I already know that I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know the 2 meals that I'm going to be doing.
Jodi's just like,
because I'm talking about what I'm going to be eating. The meals that I'm going to be having are going to be easy, which is great because I'm going to have to go to work.
Yes, I do love that. Especially like if you plan ahead. I mean, you plan ahead a lot more than I do because you have several people relying on you. But
it's a burden.
You are. What's that cliche?
Amazing.
The word you're looking for. Oh, we're about to come up on exactly 1 hour. Sorry, I was going to make a statement, but that would
make it very quick. Bullet point.
I want some fried chicken soon.
Okay, bye.